at the intersection of the Appalachian Trail and the Benton MacKaye with my boy Will. We're on our way back to Tennessee. We got 286 miles-ish to go. I think we've planned 2 different food drops. Along the way we'll stop at Reliance and then stop again at Fontana Village. You can see this goes back to the parking lot at Springer. That's and this goes over to Springer where the official start of the AT is. All right, well, let's get to this. It's a little bit foggy and dreary and raining. Perfect weather. All right, here we are at the plaque for Benton MacKaye. It's located roughly, what, 1/10 of a mile, somewhere in that neighborhood from the actual start of the trail. If that. We came from that direction. We're going that direction. So, just doing 14 miles-ish today. We might do more, we might do less, whatever we feel like doing today. But still dreary. It hasn't changed in the last 5 minutes. Alright, we've come across just this little forest road crossing here. The Benton MacKaye just goes straight across. You're going to come out of the woods at this point and go right across. There is another little forest road that goes that way. Looks like it probably goes to some campsites or something like that. But anyways, that's it. You can see we're still in the fog. Well, here's our first little stream crossing. We got a little rock hop to do. We've gone roughly about 2.5 miles, give or take. This doesn't seem too bad.
Yeah, this is nice. Nice little camp spot right here too.
Oh yeah, there's your campsite.
That's cool.
Right here next to a really good water source. It's pretty clean.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's roughly about 2.5 miles. Because we've been hiking for about an hour, and that's roughly what we hike this morning. Well, you can see we've come to the intersection where the BMT crosses the AT. We've been hiking for a little over an hour, about an hour and 20, about an hour and 15 minutes, somewhere in that neighborhood. But the trail hasn't been bad for us. Definitely less traveled than the AT, but still well maintained, not too shabby. You can see our diamond blaze in the background. You can see we're on the AT now. With the AT and the Benton MacKaye are traveling together here on this little beach stretch. We're not far from Long Falls, Long Hollow, whatever it is. As you can see, it's been raining all day. I mean, it has not let up at all. You can see Will way up there in front of me in one of those nasty wet days. We've not stopped that much. We're pretty much moving along since we got on trail this morning. See some vehicles up here. Here at Three Forks. We've gone 4.1 miles. Here we are. See, here's the bridge for the AT. How's it going, man?
Hey.
Doing all right?
Oh, a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. You guys through hiking?
The BMT.
BMT? What is that?
Benton MacKaye.
Oh.
Yeah, it starts at Springer and ends at Big Creek on the other side of Smokies, basically Davenport Gap.
Okay. I'm still on trail for the Appalachian, all right?
Yep, still on trail for the AT. Yeah, you still got your white blazes.
Alrighty.
Yeah, the AT and the Benton MacKaye kind of coincide in a few different places. All right, looks like we've made it to a bald here on the Benton MacKaye. I tell you, that climb up Duncan Ridge is a beast. Check this out. Man, this wasn't so close. Be a good spot to camp. Still got quite a few more miles to go before we get to Tacoma Bridge. That's where we're going to camp at today. See Will's ahead of me a little bit. This rain has not let up at all today. If anything, it's gotten worse. Kind of crazy. But some days you have those. Some days it's just wet. Today's one of those days. Still happy to be out here for day number 1 though. Definitely. Nice little campsite.
What do you think about this, huh?
Not too shabby.
Cool
Out there would be a cool camp spot.
Yeah, this would be nice.
If it wasn't raining. Alright, well we've made it to the Tacoma Bridge. See Will out there. He got here before I did. Looks like a camp area over there. Man, this thing is cool. Built in 1977. Dang. Bridge has been here a while. Obviously a facelift or two. How cool is this? What do you think about it? Man, that's an awesome bridge.
I wasn't expecting the bridge to look this cool.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think it was going to be this big of a river. You know?
Yeah. Man, that is...
And that downhill was like...
downhill.
That was down. Like, my knees were feeling it. I checked out both spots. Over there, it looks nice because the pine needles, but it's all slanted.
Gotcha.
Over here, it's pretty sick. There's a bunch of camp spots. So.
Sweet.
Oh, man. I feel happy to be here.
Yeah, you and me both. Hey guys, good morning. It's day number 2. Day number 1 was a complete washout. I mean, it rained all day long, all night long. You can see here the river at the Tacoma Bridge is flooded. The water was way down here last night, and it's risen probably about 2 feet overnight just because we've had so much rain. We had so much rain that I used my Vargo mug that I brought with me on this trip, along with my a couple Yeehaw beer cans, one I had last night and one I had the night before. I used those to collect water off of my tent. That's how much water we were having. I filled up several 20-ounce bottles worth of water that I've been drinking overnight, trying to get rehydrated, which I still am not. For whatever reason, I've become very dehydrated on this trip, where I've gotten muscle cramps in my quads really bad when I go uphill. So I'm just trying to just hydrate as much as I can, drink as much as I can, and just, you know, get with it. But I think it's because of the new medication that I had to go on from being diagnosed type 2 diabetic yesterday, actually the day before yesterday. When I went to leave out for this trip, I stopped by my doctor's office and checked me again, and sure enough, it is what it is. But I'm going to change my diet around a little bit. Definitely start an exercise routine, because I don't want to be on medication long term. That's not an option. But check out this river. I just love to see a river just flow like this. It's scary, but cool. What you're seeing right there is, you know, a class 1, class 2 rapid, somewhere in that neighborhood, and give you an idea. Yeah, all this just filled up last night. Anyways, I'm gonna go over here and kind of start trying to dry out a little bit of my gear and try to figure out what we're doing. It's still raining a little bit, so I don't know if we're gonna stay here part of the day and then go after the rain pulls out. I think that's probably what I'd rather do. Looks like we got another dark cloud coming in. Alright, this is home sweet home for tonight, for last night. Just the rain has just jacked everything up. You know, looking back on it now, if we knew it was going to be this rainy, we would have waited 2 days. The rest of the trip doesn't look like this. Alright, well, you can see that we are no longer in the woods. We have made it to Blairsville. Why? Because all of our gear was so soaked that, you know, there's going to be no way to dry it while we were on trail. We're calling for pretty cold temps tonight, down to like 38, somewhere in that neighborhood. And our sleeping bags, everything was wet. But anyways, drying some things out. You can see we're really utilizing the heater here. Already got my rain gear dried out, sleeping bags dried out. My air mattress is already dried out. Already got it setting up there, ready to get packed in. All my Goose Feet gear stuff is dried out, which it didn't get wet. Most of the things that got wet was, number one, my sleeping pad. Sleeping pad got wet, which it's not a big deal. It doesn't really hold water, but still it got wet. Second, my sleeping bag. My sleeping bag did get wet. Our first night on trail, we actually slept near or almost under the Tacoma Bridge. And we're down there along the riverbank, and you have all the fog, all the stuff, and it rained all night long. So the air is just full of moisture. And inside our Zpacks duplex, you know, you just had a lot of condensation build up. And inside there, you know, where we'd been hiking in the rain all day, we had all the wet gear that was laying in the corner. All that water from that gear dripped out. It was on the floor, and every time my sleeping bag would touch the ground, it would get wet. The inside of the bag was dry. The outside was very wet. So just to be on the safe side, we chose to come and dry all this stuff out. You can see Will has all his stuff hanging up, his tent, rain gear, all that. I've got my Goose Feet gear jacket hanging up. I might move it over next to the heat. I'm getting ready to dry my gloves out. They're pretty wet. and my Challenger mittens. And my tent is pretty much dried out now, so I'm getting ready to pack it back up. All right, you can see we've made it back to the trail. One of my Instagram followers, Chris Stansel, gave us a ride back to the trail. Man, we really appreciate you. You saved the day. Deeply, deeply, deeply appreciated. Thank you. Some awesome trail magic. We are so glad to be back on the trail. What a difference the day makes. Look at this. All you see is blue sky. And that funny bright ball thing up there in the sky. Anyways, we've been on the trail for maybe a couple minutes, just trying to get back to speed. It takes a while to get the lungs back up and get the legs back up. Check out this view here. We were probably just maybe a couple miles up from the road, somewhere in that neighborhood. Come across this little bitty overlook. We're actually just in the bend. Well, the trail goes around on the back side of the mountain and comes around this way. Definitely been much nicer hiking this morning than it was the last 2 days.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. All right. Man, I'd love to own some property down there in that valley, or even over there where that green pasture is, or even that guy over there on the side of the hill. I'd take that one. All right, we've made it to Wallowa Mountain. Don't ask me to say that word again. I'll probably butcher it. Exactly. But we're getting ready to go down this, this gap. We'll probably go back up that mountain there. Me and Will have kind of been talking about there's a single pine that's sticking way over there above the others. We're kind of hoping it goes by there. It'd be kind of cool. But up here on top of the mountain, you're going to see a little campsite. If you had to, it's a good one in the pants. It's not the flattest in the world, but anyways, that's a good sign. I like that. Someone put a lot of effort in. All right. Very windy. Don't know how much you can actually hear, but it's windy. Well, made it to the top of Lick Log. 3,472 feet above sea level. Not too shabby. Nice little campsite.
Yeah, this is good.
Very nice. Except for that dead tree right there that would probably fall on me. But as much as the wind is blowing, it's not blowing that much right here.
That ridge, it's like stopped.
Yeah, yeah, it's almost, well, you can see very little how the wind's blowing with that flagging. Let's take a break. Well, you can see we've come to the intersection of Duncan Ridge where the Benton MacKaye turns off and goes back towards Will. And then Duncan's Ridge goes right up to the top of this ridge and eventually goes back to Blood Mountain. That would be a good hike. But it's been a good climb. There's a good water source just past Lick Log, about 300 yards, I guess, somewhere in that neighborhood. So if you're wanting water, that was a good spring. We got good flowing water right there, which we've had them on soon the last couple of days. Anyways, we're still getting it. That sunshine is still out. Not a cloud in the sky. That's what I'm excited about. road going back that way will take you to Blairsville, where we stayed last night. Got all our stuff out. So far, loving the sun though. Loving it. Definitely. Little trail sign.
Yeah, that's nice. That's brand new.
Yeah. There you go. Nice. Very nice. Alright guys, there's Brawley Mountain Fire Tower. You can see it's decommissioned, no longer in use. But they are using it for antennas and things like that. They've got the bottom section of the stairs removed so you can't climb up. Which stinks. Pretty cool though. Definitely cool. I like it. Pretty neat. Well, we're almost back down to the road. Roughly about 24 miles in so far on the Benton MacKaye. Trail's been in great shape. Maintenance crews are on top of it. We've not had any issues whatsoever. Definitely a good section of trail. You know, we just got off to a bad start there. That, man, it rained. We still can't get over how much rain dropped in a 24-hour period. I mean, it soaked through everything. Things that were built to not wet out that quick wetted out. We were just, it was rough. It was a rough first day and a half. Definitely. Very thankful for the gentleman and his wife for picking us up there and giving us a ride into Blairsville. We were miserable. It had started pouring rain again. We set up our tents for a little bit just to get out of the rain because no one was picking us up. And finally we both were like, you know, screw it, let's go into town, let's dry off, get our bellies full, and let's head back out on the trail. So that's what we did. I mean, our primary focus was drying gear out. We accomplished that. Second was get food, because we knew we were putting ourselves one day behind, potentially. I think the plan is after tomorrow, because we have some friends, Toast and Jams, are going to come up and meet with us tomorrow and camp out with us, which is going to be awesome. Love those guys. If you're not following Toast and Jams blog, following their Facebook, Instagram, you're absolutely missing out. And those two are about to become three, and they are going to be a valuable source for folks that want to get out and backpack and still hike and still do adventures with their baby. So they are already planning the trip around the Tahoe Rim, Lake Tahoe Rim. So I'm very excited to see how that's going to come out, and I know they're going to knock it out of the park. But you can see we're dropping down to the road once again. We'll cross it and then head back up. I think we're roughly pushing 15, 16 miles today, something like that, 14 miles. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just hiking. But I do know last time we stopped we had about 9 miles to go. to where we would like to camp. We want to camp out on top of the mountain tonight if the wind doesn't blow us off of it. But definitely looking at camping out on top of a mountain, and we're figuring we should get to camp somewhere around 6:30-ish. So we'll see. Alright guys, we've made it here to Garland Gap on the Benton MacKaye, and I think we're going to grab some water here. The guidebook says water's about 1/10 of a mile down. I can hear the water, the creek. So I'm going to go here and top off my bottles and chug a little bit. So far the trail's been good, no problems. I'm going to probably do a video here a little bit later when we have a chance and just kind of give my thoughts on the trail as of so far. Not necessarily trail conditions, weather conditions, because I mean we all know that it rained like piss pouring out of a bucket the first day and a half. So we've documented that pretty well. Anyway, sorry I've not really shot a lot of video. Will's been doing such a great job on his video. I've just really not felt the need to. I think his video, when it comes down to it, is going to be an excellent guide to this trail. He's been shooting some really incredible shots and everything. But anyways, yeah, there's our water. Comes right out of the ground here. You know me, I'm not filtering it. Don't have to. Mother Earth is filtering it. This is cool. Another beautiful day, sunny, not a cloud in the sky. Our good friends Toast and Jam are going to meet up with us later on. And actually I think we have a pop down here too. So that'd be cool. I'm just talking random. Guys, we're on the first little road walk. Just got back out here to the Tacoma River. You can see somebody's nice little spot right here. Pretty neat. Got some beehives. Guess they're into beekeeping. That is pretty awesome. This Tacoma River. Just kind of doing our thing. Well, we're still on our little road walk here. I think our plan is to go to a restaurant and get us a bite to eat before moving on. I could use some coffee, a sandwich, or something. We're still walking along to Tacoma. I mean, you got all these cabins that are bordered on each side. You can see some places they've not built yet, but somebody had plans on it. That's pretty cool. You see a little dry hydrant that the fire department's put in to connect to, I would assume, since they don't have actual fire hydrants here. They can connect to that and suck water out of the river to fill up the tanker truck. Of course, we got dogs. Big dogs that want to eat people. You know, that one definitely wants to eat people. Definitely. That look kind of tasty. The one on the left looks like it might be a little friendlier than the one on the right. One on the right, it's got an attitude. Beautiful place there. You can kind of tell some of these places are just seasonal places. They still have their Christmas lights up and Christmas trees up. And it's March 3rd. Pretty neat. That one dog act like he wanted to eat us.
Yeah, I hate it when people. That's the only thing I hate about road walks.
Yeah.
It's a dog.
Yeah. Well, crossing the bridge, got a guy waiting on me. You can see, pretty neat. Hey guys, well, you can see we're back at it. Today is day number 5. Right now we're in the process of climbing up Fowler Mountain. I don't think I like very much actually, but we camped down at the foot, I think Hartley Gap, where we stayed at last night, which is a good campsite. Had a good time. Got there a little early, so that was good. You can see these trails still in great shape, well maintained. I think we came across a blowdown or two, which wasn't too bad. Still digging this trail. They just don't believe in too many switchbacks. You're either going straight up or straight down. Well, you can see we're currently walking through a wilderness area, kind of along the South Fork Trail as we're making our way north. This area is actually very beautiful. Really reminds me of the Smokies a lot. It doesn't look like it's impacted very much. You know, you can see a little bit of horse traffic. Where someone's had a horse back here, probably, you know, to be honest with you, probably a ranger or someone doing trail maintenance. This place is just full of spruce and hemlocks, and you got a stream off down in the bottom there, and man, it's beautiful. This is probably one of the prettiest areas I've been in a while.